Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new, welcome. My name is Monica and today I'm here to talk about Joe Arden. I wanted to save him for the end of the year. I know he is a lot of people's favorite audiobook narrator, and I'm kind of glad I did because last month a audiobook that he narrated became my favorite of the month. I know it's going to be on my top favorites of the year, and I just want to highlight him. So I'm sure you all know that he did write a book in 2022. It's called The Chameleon Effect, and that one's a contemporary romance. And he actually goes to signings. I don't know if you know that. He goes to signings. He's always hiding his face and stuff because he likes his anonymity. He likes his privacy. And I mean, some of us fangirls can be pretty intense. I'm not, but I know there are who definitely can be. I appreciate the way he narrates things. You can tell when he's having a lot of fun. And I love the fact that he did go ahead and write The Chameleon Effect. This one is about a guy who he was an actor. He could do voices and stuff, and he was getting ready for his big break and stuff, and you could tell that he knew what he was talking about when he wrote this. Anyway, I enjoyed this. I think I gave it, I don't remember what I gave it. I gave 4 stars. I thought it was really good. It was quick. It was fun. It was a contemporary romance. And one of the things that I really like about Joe Arden is he supports the romance community. He's not embarrassed of the romantic community. He embraces us. And I love that. Absolutely love this dude. But the book that I was talking about, that the reason why I wanted to save him for my final, the book is probably going to be on, I know will be on my top reads of 2023, is Butcher and Blackbird. And check the trigger warnings, because those trigger warnings are no joke. And I love this book so much that I got a copy before they took it off of Amazon because it's being put to a publisher. But yeah, so let's see. It was, yeah, the content warnings. As much as Butcher and Blackbird is a dark romantic comedy and will hopefully make you laugh through the madness, it's still dark. Please read responsibly. If you have questions about this list, please don't hesitate to contact me at brenweaverbooks.com or on one of my social media platforms. I'm most active on Instagram and TikTok. Eyeballs and eye sockets, amateur surgery, true, skin ornaments, chainsaws, axe, knives, scalpels, a lot of sharp objects, accidental cannibalism, not so accidental cannibalism, questionable use of a mummified corpse, ill-advised use of kitchen implements, lobotomized manservant, I'm sorry about the cookies and ice cream, I'm not really, detailed sex scenes, which includes but not limited to, yes, we have to turn the page, cock warming, rough sex, praise kink, anal, adult toys, choking, spitting, dom, sub interactions, genital piercings, reference to parental neglect and child abuse, parental loss not depicted, reference to child sexual assault not in detail. It's a book about serial killers, so there's some generally messed up murder and chaos. This book begins with probably one of the most interesting lines I've ever read. Being a serial killer who kills serial killers is a great hobby until you find yourself locked in a cage for 3 days with a dead body in the Louisiana summer. That is like one of the best setups. So the reason why I'm highlighting this book with the audiobook, and his co-narrator is Lucy Rivers, and she does such a fantastic job with this as well, is that they were having so much fun reading this. You could tell they were talking this was like, I think this was like dual narration, where they were going back and forth, and they were talking over each other, and it was like bantering back and forth. They were just having so much fun narrating this book. I loved it. When they were in Rowan and Sloane's head, they were just having a good time. And because this book is about serial killers who were playing a game where they were going after hunting other serial killers and killing serial killers. And it was just so interesting, this book, because they're very serious subjects, but yet you're just like, it's a dark comedy. So it's a very interesting book. And Joe Arden and Lucy Rivers, oh my gosh, this book there should be an award for this book, because it was done so well. Like, do yourself a favor, even if you have read the paperback or the ebook, go pick up this audiobook. I'm not kidding. This is the one audiobook that if you take any recommendation, this is the one audiobook. If you can handle this subject matter, this is the one that I really think you should pick up out of any of these ones that I'm going to talk about in this video, because you could tell they were having a fantastic time narrating this audiobook. So yes, absolutely. Another one that I want to talk about that he did, and this one is more, has some definitely trigger warnings, so this one you definitely check trigger warnings, is Reckless Memories. This is book 1 in the Rex series by Catherine Cowles, and he narrates this with Andy Arndt. And this one is dead sister's boyfriend. And if that is not your jam, I'm sorry, but I actually really enjoyed this one. This one is angsty. I love angsty, okay? I love good time and I love angst. Initially gave it 4 stars, but I still think about this book, and I read this back in July 2022. And I still think about this book to this day. And I've read all of Catherine Cowles' books. But this is one of the ones that still sticks with me, because I remember the scene in the accident where they had left, Ford and Belle and her sister, and they were having, there was some stuff going on with her family, and her sister dies in this accident. He leaves, and then he comes back 10 years later, when his family's business needs help, because he goes to California, and he comes back. Anyway, and I'm rambling, sorry. My nose is itching, and my family is watching a movie, and I can hear the movie, and it's distracting, and my ADHD is up, and I am being human, so I am just being human right now. Anyway, she works for his family at their restaurant, and it's their romance. The thing is with this one is that it's opposites attracts. They were best friends. They were really good friends before the accident, and she felt like he abandoned her. And it does have the Catherine Cowles stamp of romantic suspense. So you're gonna get the romantic suspense. And I enjoyed how he worked with Andy Arndt. So I enjoyed this one. This one is a really good one. So I'd recommend this one if you want to check out one of the ones he did with one of the books he did with Andy Arndt. Another one, and this one did not work for me. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you this up front. It is a romantic suspense. It's a trilogy. I think there's another book coming. I don't know. I heard something about it, but I'm not sure. It's Jess from Honest Fiction. She loves this series. I also think, I want to say Cheyenne from That Tall Book Girl loves the series too. I got through book 1. I was okay with book 1. I was very lost in book 1. And for me, I have to understand what's going on. Otherwise, I get really annoyed. But there was some stuff that happened in book 2 where I get very annoyed. I don't mind if there's more than one hero, if it's going to be like why choose or Polly or whatever. But I have to kind of know that going in, and I didn't know that going in. And then it was like, but then when I got to book 2, the 2 heroes that were in book 1 were completely gone. And then we got a whole new hero going into book 2. And I was like, what am I reading? Why do I care? And I honestly DNF'd. And the reason why I'm recommending this series, and if you don't know, is the Ravenhood series by Kristen Stewart. So if you want to know why I am recommending this series, even though I couldn't finish it personally, is because I know that Jess from Honest Fiction, I know a bunch of other people love it, but it was because of Joe Arden is the reason why I got through as far as I did. He's the reason why I got through as far as I did. Otherwise, I probably would have DNF'd within the first book. If I still had the 2 heroes and we were still trying to figure things out, I probably would have gone through Exodus, and they didn't switch the heroes. I can't, that's a me thing. That's a whole me thing. It wasn't the story thing. Like, I can't have that 3rd hero should have been established within the first book. Otherwise, I would have been fine and would have been able to continue on if they were going to do that, because I can't switch. That's a me thing. But Joe Arden did a fantastic job. So did Maxine Mitchell, and I think that they absolutely deserve credit for what they did with the Ravenhood series. This is, I mean, the ratings are there. This series has very, very good ratings. Just because it's a me thing, I can recognize that they've done a fantastic job. I understand that people love the series. I think that the writing is good. And just because I have a me problem with it, and I understand it's a me problem, that doesn't mean that you might not enjoy it. So I highly recommend that you check it out to see if you can get over the me problem, which is you cannot introduce a 2nd or 3rd love interest. That just drives me crazy. I don't like that, and that's just a me thing. But Joe Arden, I love you, dude. You did a fantastic job. If it wasn't for that one thing, I probably would have finished this entire series, and I probably would have, for what I heard, what would have happened, I probably would have enjoyed it. So you can't bait and switch me. I don't like it. That's a me thing. So, all right, I'm off my soapbox. Let's move on. The next one that I love is Reckless by Elsie Silver, and this is book 4 in the Chestnut Spring series. This is Surprise Baby. I love a good surprise baby, and I know that's not everybody's favorite, but I don't care because me and my surprise baby trope, gotta love it. This one is Theo in Winter's book, and Joe Arden narrates this with Savannah Peachwood. And Savannah Peachwood is really good. I actually need to do a video on her, and I will pretty soon, I think. But Theo is a bull rider, and they have a one-night stand. Honestly, I love Winter as a character. She has the best character growth in that whole entire series, because she goes from being pretty horrible from flawless all the way to being very redeemable by the end of Reckless. And I love good character growth. Just as much as I love a good revenge plot. So anyway, and a good secret baby plot. This is also very much small town, and she is a doctor. She just got out of a very toxic relationship, and her ex is a POS. We're gonna leave it at that, but they have a one-night stand. He leaves. I love how Theo takes care of Winter when he finds out that she's pregnant. And there is a lot of communication in this book. I feel like they communicate very well with each other, the characters, Winter and Theo. Once he finds out that he is going to be dead. He's in it and he's there. And I love the fact that they force each other to communicate with each other. And it's very romantic. This one, he steps into the role as dad. He also steps into the role as caretaking for Winter, but Winter also caretakes for him. I feel like this one is one of the better books in the Chestnut Springs series, and that's saying something, because this series is a very, very solid series. I know that this one wasn't everybody's pride and joy, but this one was my pride and joy, and I think that Savannah Peachwood and Joe Arden were very much the perfect narrators for this particular book. And so that is why, if you're going to choose to listen to any book in this series, I highly recommend this one to listen to. The last book that I do want to talk about, and this book is a little older, and this book came out in 2020, and it is, and this, you do not have to read the series in order. This is technically a standalone, but it's book 2 in the Hush Note series. This is Riffs and Refrains by Devaney Perry. The first one is Lies and Lullabies by Serena Bowen, and the third one is Muses and Melodies by Rebecca Yarros. I don't feel like this series gets a lot of hype. I feel like this series should get a lot more hype than it has, but he narrates this with Maxine Mitchell. He works a lot with Maxine Mitchell. This is about Quinn Montgomery and her ex-boyfriend Graham. Quinn is the drummer in the band Hush Notes. Each book is dedicated to one of the members of the band Hush Notes. She goes home to Montana after her nan dies, when her nan dies, to her nan's funeral, and she sees Graham again for the first time in a very long time. Graham is a single dad now. He has a 7-year-old son named Colin who wants to be a drummer. Quinn's parents, she does not get along with her parents. Her nan was the only one who really supported her dreams of becoming a rock star. She's always musical. Her parents were very, I think, like ultra religious, if I remember correctly. Graham felt like she left him behind. He had, I want to say, like a one-night standish that resulted in a pregnancy. The mom didn't want the kid, but ultimately decided to go through the pregnancy and then give Colin to his dad, to Graham. And so Graham dropped out of college to become a father. And anyway, that's a whole nother part of the story. But they end up working on a lot of their issues when they reconnect as they prepare for her nan's funeral, and going through resolving a lot of their issues. And it was just such a good story. This is a very good second chance romance. And when I read this at that time, I didn't really like second chance romance. I'm starting to enjoy second chance romances again. Because at that time when I originally read this, I was like, once you had a chance, you should never go back. Now I'm because of books like this, I have now given more second chance romances more of a look, because this was done so well, and Joe Arden and Maxine Mitchell did such a great job at this. I highly recommend you just check out the entire series, but I know Christi from Christi Reads a Lot loves this one. This is her absolute favorite one. She read it last year, and I mean, we were talking about it. She just thought this one was the best one. I love this one. I think this one is just very, very well done. This one is one of the few second chance romances that actually sold me on second chance romances. You can thank Joe Arden for that, because I probably wouldn't have picked it up if it wasn't for Joe Arden. So like I said, I found authors, I found books because of narrators, and Joe Arden is no exception. Like I found Joe Arden because I actually found Joe Arden because of a Penelope Ward book, and it was Stuck Up Suit. And I read that back in like 2017, 2000. Originally read it a long time ago, and he was the male narrator. And again, it was with Maxie Mental, and there was this moment on the train where they meet on a train, and there was this instant connection, and he played a cocky millionaire, and it was such a fun book. And it was actually a little later than that. I think it was 2018 or 2019 that I originally. And then I started going on, and I started looking up different authors through Audible because of Stuck Up Soup, because I thoroughly enjoyed his take on a grumpy billionaire because of Penelope Ward and Vi Keeland. So yeah, I mean, if you want to check that one out too, by all means. That one was a lot of fun. But I read that one a long time ago. So I don't remember the whole story. I just remember thinking that one was a lot of fun. And I loved the dynamic between this sassy girl with the, I think it was the Dreamcatcher tattoo on her ankle that went down on her foot. And she gave him a run for his money. And then she showed up at his office and basically flipped him off. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And I just loved how he played the grumpy bastard millionaire. That was a lot of fun. And so that's how I found a lot of these books, because of one randomly fun book that I found a long time ago. So anyway, those are some of the Joe Arden books that I wanted to talk about. So anyway, let me know some of your favorite Joe Arden books down below, as always. And if you have any recommendations for me that I haven't talked about, please let me know down below. And if you made it this far in this video and you want to let me know you've been here, but you don't want to comment on anything, please leave me a blackbird, since Butcher and Blackbird. And anyway, until next time, my friends, happy reading. Bye.